Right, so this is Lily Simpson-Little here, and I'm just going to give you a walkthrough of my game and the middleware used to create it. This is my game just here. If we go along, you can just see that there's lots of stuff added from the Unity asset store to make it just a kind of classic war kind of game that just will simulate just a quick walkthrough of audio happening. So you can see there's some leaves moving around to simulate some wind. You've got the wind here. We've got some animation going on with like this lamppost just here. That will happen when I press play. And we've also going to have some interactive music. So to make the interactive music, I used WWise, which is a popular middleware, version 2006, and it's kind of come up from there. So first, if we just switch the interactive music layout, we can see that this under the interactive music hierarchy, under my default work unit is my music playlist container. Within the music playlist container, I've got 5 music segments. Within the music segments, I've then got my heartbeat. I've then got audio tracks, all named heartbeat, guitar, bass, drums, and oboe. Once I click on this here, it will show me anything I could do to edit it, or, for example, here, use to create anything from like volume to exit cues or entry cues. I've used exit cues quite early on, like 1 bar, 2 bars in, so each time a new track comes in the switch container, the guitar can overtake and then they can play alongside each other. I've used volume automation in all of them just to make it sound a little bit faded in rather than just really suddenly appearing within the track, or within the game, sorry. If I press play on this, we can see it's moving along. And it will just continue because I've only pressed play on that one particular track. So if we go on the guitar part, and I press play on this, it's got slightly less of a volume automation, but it can still be heard. So if I minimize these and go straight onto the music switch container, or the music playlist container, sorry, I can see I can change all of these from continuous sequence to a random sequence to a random step, and everything could be edited in here. So I've just got it going continuous. However, if I wanted to switch up to random, it'd sound a little bit different. If I did want to switch it to random though, and I thought it would sound better, the best thing about WWise is that it can be edited by anyone that has it, or while the game's running. It doesn't have to keep going backwards and forwards from WWise to Unity, backwards and forwards until you get what you want. You can do it at the same time. So if I press play on here, my interactive music will play. And there we go. So that part is my interactive music. Next, I'm going to show you what I did with our lamppost. So this is my lamppost. I did it under the actor mixer hierarchy because it can be then edited later. I put a random sequence container in there. Within that are my 5 audio tracks. So here they all are. They can all be changed. So I've changed the pitch of quite a few of them, like you would in any kind of DAW. The initial delay, everything like that is all being changed. So here, it's still on interactive music, so let me just change that. Here we are. So just all I did there was change it to the designer layout. So here's my lamppost. Yeah, and what I've done is change that sequence container to shuffle on random, and avoid repeating the last one played just because we don't want it to be too repetitive here. Got everything here, varied some pitches as well, just in case it gets too similar. We've got it going continuously on a loop, and it's going to be an infinite number of loops. You've also got transition period as well to make it sound a little bit better. So now if I press play on this, sounds pretty cool. So once I had these two both together, I did start off with the interactive music and popped that in there first. But as soon as I did that, I went straight onto the events. So you can see there's two events here, random lamppost and play music and gameplay. So all I did on this part was add that as the child under the default work unit of the event. So there, and it's just the action is to play, and exactly the same for the lamppost. So the next part was a little bit trickier to get the initial sounds into Unity. You had to create a sound bank, and I just named it WWise sound bank. Then I had to change the layout. Don't forget to change the layout so you can see what's in there. Within this, I added the two children here, so the music lamppost, music gameplay, and then use that as a default work unit, platform Mac, made obviously the language English, and then built that. After that was built, I had to add the SDK to Unity. So then, which worked fantastically, it went very quickly, and there, your events are already in there, and same with your banks, so the sound banks there as well. After getting that all set up, you had to use the Wise Global to initialize it, get everything else in there, and you can even add it. Go. The next bit I want to talk about is something I actually did in Pure Data. Pure Data is also made by the same guy that did Maximus P. Brilliant free software that isn't used enough in games. This is my patch just here. It's a very simple patch. If I were to turn on the output just here, it's a Win patch. I'm going to be using software called Heavy, which is accessible online. It's a product of Emzyne Audio, and they make, once you've done the patch, as long as you've got your receiver in here with its parameters, they will make that patch into a plugin for Unity, Wise, whatever. I've just got one straight in for Unity. I'll show exactly how I did it. So when I did that, this patch just is there's the parameters that have been set. They're going through, they're being transposed into frequency, getting noise through a bypass filter, and then just the output's happening here. It just sounds like this. Play it again. Perfect. So once I had that, I'm going to go straight onto my Safari page here, and this is it. So I just named it test. I just dragged and dropped my Win patch in there. So you just drag it onto the file here and you compile it. It will give us no warnings, no errors, golden god, which is fantastic. And then I will download the Unity ISX plugin. It will give us an example of what it sounds like on this Heavy software. And yeah, that's all you need to do. Then all you have to do after that, we get rid of that and we go straight back into Unity. I'll have it here. So there it is, the test Unity plugin. We've got the wrapper here, which you add onto your audio source. For example, there is one of my audio sources right here. I've just connected the output to a part of the audio mixer. And all down here is dragged in that wrapper. So you just drag that in. You can see I've set the pitch of the wind that I want, or rather the way it best sounds. Put that in there, and there's one just there. So if I go on to view my game from upwards just here, I've managed to change them all. So at least when you're walking down the road, we're going to get 3 different pitches of wind. And that's all just using the very simplest patch. I could find reference from Andy Farnell in his designing soundbook. And yeah, that's my middleware game. What I'm going to do now is press play, and we'll be able to hear my interactive music from Wise that will play. The creaking random lamppost, which I made with the random sequencing container, and then Heavy, using a heavy software made by Ensign Audio, which is accessible online, downloading the Unity plugin and just adding the wrapper of that here, and then it goes into my audio mixer so I can change each volume, each pitch, everything like that. It's going to play wind, creaking, and music all at once. So there we have it. That's my middleware game and part 2 of my middleware project. Thank you very much.